everyone. My name is Natalie, and we're going to be doing some yoga today in your living room or wherever you are. Quarantine right now. Grab yourselves a yoga mat, something to drink. I have tea, and let's get started. So let's start on our backs. We're going to do a few spinal stretches. So we're going to come lay flat on our backs. Just feeling the ground supporting us. And then bringing both knees into your chest. Just rocking from side to side, stretching out the spine, waking it up. And then allowing those knees to drop to one side and gazing to the other side. Arms can be in a T or bent like mine. And just allow the spine to stretch here. And then the knees come back into the chest, and they're going to go to the other side. Gazes away from your knees. Breathing into the spine, allowing it to stretch and open. And then bringing both knees back into the chest, we're going to rock up to sitting. We're going to really massage our spine here. Feels really, really good. And come into a seated position. We're going to transition to child's pose. So coming onto hands and knees, toes are touching, knees are as wide as the mat. And just push yourself back on your heels. Bring those arms forward. We're going to stretch through the shoulders, and the hips are going to stretch down to the floor. Take 3 nice and deep breaths in this position, forehead resting on the mat. And the final breath coming up into our tabletop. We're going to do one more shoulder stretch before we get going. So raising the left arm overhead into the sky, getting a nice stretch here, and then threading the needle through, coming down onto our shoulder. Feels really good on the shoulder blade. And then coming back up and doing the other side. So right arm reaches up, thread the needle through. Remembering to breathe as we stretch here. Coming back up into our tabletop position. We're going to tuck those toes under and push ourselves back into our downward facing dog. You might be familiar with this pose. You can come up to the center. Pedaling out the feet, stretching through the calves and the hamstrings. Fingertips are spread really wide, and then our head is relaxed. You should be able to shake it yes and no. Hips reaching towards the sky, bending and straightening those legs. And then raising that right leg into the air for this 3-legged dog. We're going to bring that right knee to the right elbow, coming into a high plank. And go back to that 3-legged down dog. Right knee to left elbow. 3-legged dog. Inhale, knee into chest. And then stepping that leg, that foot between our hands. So tenting the fingers, coming up onto your fingertips. We're going to really feel a good stretch in this hip here, this one. Finding some movement. I like to move in yoga. I don't think you should be stuck in one position. So just maybe rocking a little bit here. Maybe bringing both hands to the inside of the foot and walking the foot out a little bit. And maybe opening up the foot here. You're really going to feel a good stretch in your hip if this is available to you, if you have flexibility. If not, just stay here and breathe into your hip bone. And then what we're going to do is frame our front foot, step it back to meet our downward facing dog. We're going to get ready for the other side. So left toes come straight up into the air. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Knee to nose. And step it up through. Finding a nice wide stance right now. So my feet are hip width apart, although I'm in this lunge. And just move this up a little bit so you guys are with me. Okay. Tenting those fingers. Maybe finding some movement here. Stretching out that front of the right hip now. Maybe bringing both hands to the inside of that front foot. Walking that foot to the side of the mat. Maybe opening our foot up like a book. Breathing into this hip. And then framing the foot, stepping our foot back into our downward facing dog. For an inhale and exhale. Inhaling ourselves into our high plank position. Dropping to our knees here or lowering all the way down to the ground. Relaxing the shoulders down the back. Fingertips are pressing into the mat. We're going to slowly reach our spine towards the sky. This is our baby cobra pose. You don't want to push yourself into this position. It's not good. So just let your spine do the work, wherever your flexibility is. Your hands are just supporting you. And then tucking the toes, pushing back up into our downward facing dog. Raising that right leg up again. Stepping it through our hands. Dropping our back heel, coming into our warrior one posture. I realize you can't see my arms, but we'll go with it. Arms are reaching overhead. Reversing our warrior, so dropping our back arm and tilting ourselves up. Didn't picture this angle. Okay, we're good. Don't worry about that. Exhaling, dropping that back heel. Arms come to a T into our warrior two. Reversing our warrior again from here. Stretching out through the front of the ribs. And then taking a cartwheel down to our mat. Stepping it back, coming to our knees, or lowering all the way down into plank. Coming up into cobra or up dog. Knees are lifted, curling the toes. Downward facing dog. Left toes up in the air. Bringing them through. Dropping those back heels. Coming up into our warrior one. Breathing into that hip. Dropping that back arm. Reversing that warrior. Dropping the heels here. And then cartwheeling those hands down. Stepping the foot back. Lowering onto their belly. Coming up into up dog. Flipping the toes. Downward facing dog. One more time on each side. Right leg up. Bring it, step it through. Drop those, actually, come up to warrior one. Open up to warrior two. Reverse warrior. We can do some side angle here. Back up to warrior two. Curling those hands, framing the foot, stepping that front foot back, lowering down. Coming into our up dog, flipping the toes. Downward facing dog. And let's do that left side. Left toes in the air. Step that left foot through. Dropping the back heels, coming up to warrior one. Flipping open, warrior two. reverse warrior, and side angle. Warrior two, cartwheel those hands, stepping it back, lowering down into our belly, into our up dog or cobra, downward facing dog, dropping the knees, coming to rest in child's pose once again. Coming back up to our downward dog. As we did in the beginning, raising that right foot, we're going to bring the right knee to right elbow, send it through, right knee to left elbow, send it back, right knee to right nose, and let's drop that foot down, coming into a pigeon pose. So I'm framing, keeping my bottom foot flexed here, back toes are straight behind me, and I'm just stretching into this left hip, coming down onto my forearms here. We're coming all the way down into my forehead. One more breath. Coming back up into our downward dog. So I'm tucking the back toes and sending that left foot back. Three-legged dog here. You can open up the hip. You need a little more of a stretch. Do some like nice hip circles. We're going to do the other side now. So left leg up, left knee to left elbow, and back up. Left knee to right elbow, and back up. Left knee to nose, and back up. And then we're going to drop it through. This is probably easier to see. Switching into our pigeon pose. My front foot is flexed. You can't see it, but flex means like this. Protect your knee. Coming down to the forearms. We're coming all the way down to our forehead. And then bringing ourselves all the way back up, tucking those back toes, stepping it back into our downward dog, three-legged dog. Find a hip opener that you like, some hip circles. That feels really good. And then coming back onto our knees, sitting back into our heels, just rolling the shoulders back, down and back, opening up the chest here. Maybe bringing, if you can, clasping your hands behind your back, and just going from side to side, stretching out your neck here. I know we're all typing a lot, heads down, focusing on work. It's good to stretch out our neck, give it some love. Okay, we're gonna do one standing pose. So finding a standing position. It's gonna be hard to keep myself in the frame. Let me move this. Okay. So coming to a standing position, we're gonna take our tree pose. So finally, what this is gonna look like, you're gonna ground in through your right leg, taking your left leg open below your knee on your calf, or a little bit higher, bringing it into the center of your quad, basically where your hamstring and your quad meet. Bringing your hands into heart center. Finding stillness. Maybe growing your tree branches. You feel really balanced. Again, if this is too much, your leg can be down at your calf or even down at the floor in a little tripod. Challenging yourself by closing your eyes, maybe. It's inevitable that you might fall. It's totally fine. And then shaking that leg out, switching sides. Wish I could film this in a way that you could definitely see me. Kind of hard. Maybe this will work. Okay. Left leg is grounded. We're going to come to whatever position that works for us, anywhere that's not on the knee. Grounding through that standing leg, really pushing the body up like you're rooted in the ground. Bringing the arms overhead like your branches. Hands come to heart center. Shake out that leg. We're just going to do a side forward fold. So coming to really wide stance, toes pointed a little bit out, hands to the hips here. Slowly hinging forward, falling where you fall, either bringing your hands to the ground, clasping opposite elbows, rocking from side to side. Maybe bringing opposite arm to opposite ankle. Doing a little bit of stretching that way. You're just allowing yourself to sink in, ragdoll. All right, bringing hands to hips, coming all the way up to standing, walking the feet in. And we're just going to take a seat here now together. That was a really quick flow, stretching out the back, the hips, a little bit of balance, very quick and easy. I hope that was helpful for you. And yeah, thanks for being here today. Namaste.